Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. I hope that you had a very Merry Christmas this year. I know I did. I had a wonderful Christmas. It was super busy, but super wonderful. And it was because I had a new grandbaby, for one thing. Last Christmas was super sad for me. I had lost Millie, my little dog that I'd had for 15 years. And I lost her a few days before Thanksgiving. So at Christmas time, I still was just in the deep depths of grieving for that dog. And I still grieve her. I still miss her so much. And, you know, I still cry over her. But it's not like it was a year ago. I mean, I was just so sad last Christmas. And it was an adjustment for me too, because my son had married. And he had married in July of last year. So this was the first Christmas that he was actually married. You know, he lived away. He'd lived he'd went to college and he'd lived in Virginia for a while. But he always came home for Christmas and woke up at my house, you know, Christmas Day. And so it was a little different because of that. It was wonderful because I had a new daughter-in-law, but it still was sad because of the adjustment. You know what I mean. It was just a different kind of Christmas for me, and especially without Millie, I was just grieving. So this year was so much better. You know, God just blesses us with so many gifts and comforts us in so many ways, and I'm so thankful for all those blessings this past year. And I'll be talking more about that as we start talking about the new year. But first, I have to get finished with all of these Christmas things I want to tell you. So anyway, it was a wonderful Christmas, and I had the best time with my new grandbaby. He is just wonderful. And it's so funny to watch my husband with him, because my husband treats him like he's just this new toy or something. And he's so funny about him. He just wants to hold him the whole time. He wants to change him. He wants to just feed him and do everything. And it's so cute to watch my husband just having the time of his life with his new grandbaby too. And so we're having a wonderful time with him. And I have to say, my daughter-in-law is the best mother ever. I am so thankful for that. She just is such a wonderful mother. I know when I was that age and raising my boys as a new mother, I was a nervous wreck. And she's just so natural with it. So anyway, I'm thankful for that too. And of course, my son makes a great dad too. But I'm just so thankful for her being a part of our family. But anyway, it was just wonderful. And so I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas too. It was busy. I did not even reach half of my goals for December, but that's okay because it was wonderful, and you can't take that time back, you know. So I wanted to make sure that I spent a lot of time with my family. So anyway, I wanted to jump on here and just talk about my Christmas books, because I received some Christmas books. Of course, you know, my family always gives me books for Christmas. And so I have a whole stack here, and I want to talk about those. And first, I want to tell you about this card I received. Y'all, this is a beautiful card. And Debbie sent this to me. She's one of my subscribers. And she sent it because she said as soon as she saw it, she thought of me. Is that not the most beautiful vintage Christmas card? It's a Hallmark, and it says, "Christmas greetings. May the spirit of Christmas be with you all year." So thank you, Debbie, because this was a nice surprise in the mail this past week too. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. I love it. So I'm going to put that out here too. It's actually been sitting out ever since I received it. It's been sitting out with my other Christmas cards. So thank you, Debbie, for that. So these are the books that I received from my wonderful family for Christmas. So the first is one that I have asked for, and my husband bought this one for me, and it's Dr. Thorne by Anthony Trollope. I'm trying to go through this whole series by Anthony Trollope, and this is not like, it's a basic cover, and it's not the prettiest thing, but for some reason I want this edition, and you can't find them. They're hard to come by. And my husband went through and found all of a certain edition of Charles Dickens that I wanted. And now he's on the hunt for these. Bless his heart. I know this is going to be hard to find, because these, I don't think they made as many of. You can't find it. But I do love the feel of this one. It is just made well, and it's a great one to read from. And I already have two. I have Framley, I think is how you say it, Parsonage, and The Last Chronicle of Barset. in this edition already. And so I really would like to have all of them in this. So he found one, and I can add that to my collection. And even better, this is the next one in the series I need to read. So I was really excited, and I grabbed this up and put it in my stack immediately for 2025 classics to read, because this is the next one for my Anthony Trollope that I'm so excited about. He also found me another Christmas book. This is called The Lost Word by Henry Van Dyke. Isn't this gorgeous? This is one of those little slim volumes of Christmas. It's probably a Christmas classic that I don't know anything about. And I have several of these, and they look like this on the inside. They're very short little books. They don't take long to read, and that's what I like for Christmas. Because as I was saying, I just don't have a lot of time at Christmas because I am cooking, and I have family come over. We do a lot with our church, and so I just don't have a lot of time. And this particular one has, let's see how many pages it has. Like 70 something pages in it. So this is one that I can just pick up and read during the Christmas holiday. Now, I'm not going to read this one this year. I'm going to save it for next year because I do hope to do a very vintage Christmas readathon and next year, because I have some ideas of some tweaks I want to make of that readathon that I started this year. So I thought this would be a perfect one to add to that next year. And he knows how much I love Christmas books and vintage books. So this was definitely a win for me. So thank you for that one. And let me know if you've read that, because I had never heard of it before, but I do think it's Christmassy. Okay, and then, oh y'all, this was like my favorite. So this past year, I read my first by Sheridan Le Fanu. And it was Uncle Silas, and I loved it. And I told my husband the whole time I was reading it, I talked to him about it, and I was like, this is a favorite book. It has every element of a great novel that I love in it. It's gothic. It has that gothic tone to it. It's a page turner. It's Victorian. It was just a win-win, and it was a favorite read for me this past year. So I kept talking about that, and I told him I really would love to just read through so many more of this particular author's books. So he got me some. But first, he found in the shrink wrap. Now, I've already taken it off because I had to look at it. But this book was in the shrink wrap, and it's a folio society of Uncle Silas. So, of course, I love that. So it's in the slipcase, and this is the book. It's gorgeous. You see that? And there it is, Uncle Silas. I mean, I was just so thrilled that he found this. I think he said he found it on eBay, and it is beautiful. Look at this. Isn't that great? And then it has pictures and things in it, of course, because it is a folio society. And, of course, it's well made because the Folio Society knows how to put together a great book. So this was my favorite book that I received for Christmas. I was just thrilled because it is a favorite for me, and I think it's going to be an all-time favorite. So that was one that I was really excited about. And he listens to me, because then he said, well, after I found that, I decided I would look for a couple more of his books, since you want to read some more of his books. And so he found this one. It's called the Purcell Papers. I've never heard of it, but it's in great shape. Look how beautiful that dust jacket is. I was thrilled. And again, I don't know anything about this, so let me know if you've read that one. And then he found, this was one I knew I wanted to read because it's one of his more popular, like Uncle Silas, and it's called The House by the Churchyard. And look at how great this copy is. I mean, he found some really good copies of these books, and so I am thrilled. And this is a hefty book, so this is another Victorian classic that I can add to my collection, and I do plan on reading this next year, so I'm excited for that. So thank you for those. And then I also received a few that I had wanted. They were on my wish list. This was one I thought was perfect for me because it puts together two things that I love: mysteries and gardening. I think it's a new book. And you know me, I'm not into a lot of new books, but these were some that caught my eye, and I think I like them. This is called The Potting Shed Murder by Paula Sutton. Sutton, I think is how you say it. Look at that gorgeous cover. But it is a mystery, and it is about gardening. And you know how much I love gardening and mystery. So I think I'll love this one. I hope I do. Let me know if you've read this. And again, this is a newer release. I don't think this is... Oh, look at the end papers, y'all. Isn't that gorgeous? The end papers are beautiful too. And that cornflower blue. I just love that color. I'm trying to see when this was... published. This was 2024. So this is a new release, which is odd for me. I don't usually ask for new releases, but this is one that caught my eye. And then this is another one. I don't know if it came out this year, but it's a newer release too. And it caught my eye because, again, it's a book, a nonfiction book about birds, and it's called When There Were Birds, The Forgotten History of Our Connections by Roy and Leslie Adkins. Now, I do not like that there's a guy down here. If you see him, he's shooting the birds. I'm not happy about that. I'll tell you that right now. So we'll just pretend we don't have that on there. But all around here are beautiful pictures of different kinds of birds, and the cover just sold me. Look at that great cover. Besides the man down here, we don't want to see the hunter. I'm just kidding if you're a hunter. No offense, but I don't want you coming in my yard shooting my birds. So anyway, I'm excited for this because this is a nonfiction. I don't read enough nonfiction, but I've noticed that this past year I read several nonfiction about birds and gardening, and I enjoyed it. And right now I am finishing up a couple of books that Sonia and Elizabeth gave me for Christmas. I just put them on my nightstand because I couldn't wait. And they're about birds, and I'm loving them. There's one that Elizabeth was kind of like, I'm not sure if you'll like this or not. And she even sent me a message afterwards like, I'm not sure, that was taking a chance, but I love it. It is very interesting. And so I want to add some more nonfiction about things that I love, and gardening and birds are something that I love. So I think I'll really enjoy this one. Again, let me know if you've read this one, and I think this is a newer release too. Let's see. Again, I'm not up to speed on new releases because I read so many classics and vintage books, but this came out in, where is the 2021. So for me, that's very new. But 2021 is when this one was published. And then this was one, I don't know if y'all, do y'all watch Mary Berry? I love Mary Berry. I love watching her cook. I want to be her friend. I wish that I could go to her house and she could cook me a great meal. And so my son bought me this. It's probably so that I could cook him some meals out of this. But this is Mary's Foolproof Dinners. And look at that gorgeous picture of her. She is so beautiful, y'all. I just love her. And I wish that she lived next door and could make me all this wonderful food. So anyway, I am going to try some of these. I've already been looking through it. It's a gorgeous cookbook. And her books remind me of just comfort food. A lot of hers, look at the beautiful pictures. A lot of her recipes are just comfort type foods, and I love watching her do anything. She's one of those people that I'll just have her play in the background because I don't know, I just love her. So anyway, this was a favorite Christmas gift as well. So those are the books my family gave me, but I also had two other books that came in this past week that I had ordered that hadn't come in. One of them, well, this one I think came in before Christmas, but I hadn't been on here to talk about it. And that is A Lantern in Her Hand by Bess Streeter Aldrich. And one of you mentioned that this was a good one by this particular author. I have The Journey Through Christmas, and when I pulled it out for Christmas time to read this year, I remembered that one of you had mentioned this book, and so I ordered a vintage copy, and it looks great. Look at that dust cover. The only problem with this was when I received it in the mail, whoever sent it to me had put it in cardboard like this. They put a piece of cardboard and a piece of cardboard, and then they wrapped it in tape. Well, the tape touched the side, so it was in perfect shape, and now look at that. That really made me mad because now that's messed up. So anyway, the front's fine, but I was like, why would you put tape right there? Because it was on this spine. So when I opened it, there was no way to get it off but to rip it. So anyway, it's still a pretty book, but I was disappointed in that. Sometimes when you receive things, you just never know how they're going to come in the mail. But anyway, this was a good, looks like a good copy of this. And so I'm excited for this because I think a couple of you have told me to read this one by Beth Streeter Aldrich. And so since I had that Journey Through Christmas that I was enjoying, I thought I would try this one too. And it looks like something I would really enjoy. It's a historical fiction type book. So I know that I love historical fiction, so I think I'll enjoy that one. And then I also ordered this because Miranda Mills had talked about this one. And it's called Before the Fact, and it's one of those British Library crime classics by Frances Iles. The reason I wanted this, look at that beautiful cover. The reason I wanted this one is because I love Alfred Hitchcock, and years ago Alfred Hitchcock made a movie called Suspicion, and it is based on this book Before the Fact. And since I do love Alfred Hitchcock movies, I thought, well, I want to read that book. So I thought I would read this and then compare it to the movie Suspicion. So let me know if you've watched the movie or read the book. And those are the two books, these two books I received, this one this week and this one right before Christmas. So these are two little gifts I gave myself because why not? I'm always gifting myself books. But I'm going to try after Christmas not to buy any books until I've read so many of these, because as you know, if you follow my channel, you know that Sonia and Elizabeth have given me stacks of books to read, which I'm so thankful for, and especially their friendship, because that's been wonderful, developing that friendship with them this past year. And then I have this stack from my family, as well as books that you have sent me too. So I'm going to try my best to get some of these read before I pick up any more. But I am over the moon for all the wonderful books I received during the Christmas season, and I can't wait to start. Where should I start? So let me know which book you think I should begin with for